everyone, Assalamualaikum and welcome back to my channel. Hi, if you are new, my name is Arina, and if you are coming back, I hope you all are doing well. In today's video, I'll be swatching the new O2O blush. It is called the Glow Color Bounce Blush, or from the website it is called the Mochi Blush Velvet Matte or something. The name is super long, I can't remember. So we are in the 4th day of blush week. Thank you so much for keep tuning. So if you are interested to know my thoughts on it, just keep on watching. So before I start off with the swatches, this is how the packaging looks like. It comes with a box. It's the standard O2O box with the white color at the front and the rose gold color at the back. All the information are written on the back and the expiry date on the side here. And also the shade name is also on the box. So after you receive your order, you can check it whether it is the right shade or not before opening it. So this is what the actual component looks like. It has a clear window at the front with the plastic closure, and at the back is this pale bronze color with the shade name, and it has a snap closure. So let's read the claims from the box and also from the website. It says here, a new type of blush product with a soft texture. It's like a fluffy cotton candy, beautiful and fun, combining the advantages of powder and cream, long-lasting moisturizing, color fixation and dressing with a slight pearlescent and make cheeks faintly shiny. So what interesting that is the ingredient contains squalene, which is a moisturizing or hydrating ingredients for all skin type. And hopefully this blusher will feel hydrating on the skin and not as drying as a usual powder, because it does claims to be cream and powder hybrid. And from the website it says that this blush is unbreakable, has a velvet mashed potato texture. I don't know what that means. Maybe it has like a putty formula. In today's video is my first impression for all the shades. So firstly is the shade O1 Glow Color. This is what it looks like inside before I swatch it. Please bear in mind that I do have bright lights in front of me, so that tends to wash off the color. Okay guys, I did try to swatch it, and I don't know if you can see or not. If I push it in, it does hold the shape of my finger, so it's kind of like a putty texture. Very interesting. So this is what the shade O1 swatched. Okay, when I first swatch it, it looks chalky and I really am not impressed with the first swatch. But when I blend it on my skin, like when I try to blend it, the texture looks quite smooth, and also at the back of my hand, it looks pretty smooth. It doesn't look powdery at all, you guys. It looks like how the finish will look if I were to swatch a cream blush. That is what my impression is with the formula. From the website, they say that you can use it with your finger, with a brush, or with a sponge, whatever tools your heart desire. And I'm gonna actually apply it with my finger first and see if I like it or not. We're also gonna try it with other tools. The blusher texture honestly reminds me of the Holika Jelly Dough blusher, but it is not as malleable as the Holika blushers. So this is a pink coral shade, the shade O1. I'm gonna apply it using my finger first and see if I like it or not. You do have to build it up if you apply it with your finger, because it does stick onto the finger and not so much onto the cheek. So as you can tell, it's very subtle. So I'm going to build it up. I'm going to pick it up using the blush brush. Hopefully it adheres to the bristles. So I think it does show up better if you use it with a brush. So I'm going to build it up. This is the shade O1. As you can tell, it has a light reflective properties to it. It's not a matte blusher. It's a light peach shade. Also has the same formula. I don't know if you can see or not, but this is the shade O2. I'm gonna swatch the shade O2 on this cheek using a different brush. So from the description, it does claim to have some shiny properties. When I look it in the pan, it does have tiny glitters. So this is the shade light peach. This is not a very pigmented blush. It's very subtle. And I'm gonna move closely. This is in the shade O1. It has a pinky coral tone, whereas the shade O2 is a light peach. Hopefully you'll be able to tell the differences. To a light peach shade. The next shade is O3. It's a bright salmon shade. Also feels the same. The texture feels the same. I'm going to swatch it on this cheek. Even though this is a very bright pink shade, it is not too shocking when you apply it on the cheeks. It doesn't look too bright. You can easily manipulate this formula and build it up layer by layer without looking too bright. So this is again the shade O3. The next shade, a bright strawberry pink shade. This is brightest, like the most neon shade from the collection. And this is the shade O4. I'm going to apply this using a brush on this cheek. I'm going to move closer to the lens. So this is in the shade O3 and this is in the shade O4. On the cheeks they do look similar, but hopefully you'll be able to tell that the shade O3 has a salmony or almost like a peachy undertone, whereas the shade O4, it has a prominent pink tone. This is a rusty orange, and this is how it looks like swatched at the back of my hand. Hopefully the color will translate the same like what it is on the pan, because from the swatch it leans more salmony. I'm gonna try to use my finger. This one has like a salmony shade instead of a rusty orange, which I hope it to be judging it from the pan. And this is how it looks like swatched. It's like a burnt orange shade from the pan. And let's apply this on this cheek. So this is the shade 06. This is the shade 06 and this is the shade 05. It has a orangey or kind of peachy tone, whereas this shade here has more on the blushy pink kind of tone. Even though from the pan they look like a beautiful burnt orange and rusty orange color, but it doesn't translate like that on the cheek. Blue stain. This is my finger swatched the blush and I did remove it using the oil infused makeup remover, and it does not budge. It does not remove the stains, so I guess it will last a very long time. And this is how they swatch. The first shade is 01, 02, 03, 04, 05 and 06. Let's jump into the review. This is my second time trying this type of formula, first being the Holika Jelly Dough Blusher, and I have a mixed feeling or mixed thought for that Holika blusher. The formula from this O.Two.O blusher is almost the same, but like I said, this one feels a bit more firm than that one, and overall the formula or how it performed on the cheeks consistent throughout. I don't have any issue applying it, and it is easy to build up the color, and it is not too bright or too shocking when you apply on the cheeks. This foundation shade doesn't have any mauvey, purpley or like a red, intense red shade. All of the shades are wearable. I think the most intense shade is the shade number 04, which is the bright strawberry shade, and even so when I apply on the cheek it doesn't look as shocking or as neon. So because it does stain my fingers, so I will assume that this blusher will last a very long time, and that is a pleasure to know because we do wear masks. I will also assume that it has a minimal amount of transfer because it is not dewy and it is not like have a wet finish. It's a cream plus powder hybrid, so it makes me wonder whether this blush will dry out eventually because the component itself is not fully shut. I mean, you can see some space between the lid and also the base here. From my experience today, I find the easiest way to apply this blush is by using a brush. I did try to use with my finger, but it doesn't deposit as much product as I wanted to, and the brush does apply it smoothly on top of the skin. Also, this powder works on top of powder and also unset foundation. I have removed the blusher before I swatch another shade, and I have not set it with powder. it does apply smoothly on top of it without it picking up the foundation base I have on. And also I did set my foundation with a powder before I start swatching at the beginning of the video. It doesn't look blotchy or patchy at all. It is surprisingly easy to work with because I haven't had a good experience with putty blushers before. Despite of its very affordable price, I find that it is very pleasant to work with. It is easy to maneuver the product even if you are a beginner, even if you just want to dip your toes into this type of blusher hybrid, you might want to try this blusher. I wish in future they add more shades like a mauvey shade, maybe like a true red shade or a brown shade to bronze the face. That would be nice. And that's it for today's video. If you find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I appreciate if you can subscribe because I do a lot of makeup tutorial reviews and hauls. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I hope I see you guys in my next one. Bye. Assalamualaikum.